Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about what the real problem is in Wrath, and it's not Dungeon Finder being in or out of Wrath Classic. But first, we're doing a special Wrath of Lich King beta key giveaway soon, so if you want to be entered for a chance to win, make sure you like this video and you are subscribed to the channel for when we start giving them away to subscribers only. Now, Blizzard has attacked Dungeon Finder, blaming it as the thing that destroyed the social aspect of WoW, saying it removes the player-to-player interaction, and with swift and decisive action, they have told us it's not going to be in the game no matter what. But the problem is not, in fact, whether or not Dungeon Finder is in the game. Even though half the player base wants Dungeon Finder to be in the game, there is in fact one thing we can all unite behind, and it is seemingly a plague that Blizzard cannot get rid of, and that is botting. Excessive, uncontrolled botting. I wasn't even making a video about botting, and they ended up in my video because they're everywhere. Blizzard is so bad at banning bots. I've seen multiple posts about legitimate players being banned, and yet I can go stand outside Hellfire Ramparts and just endlessly see an endless stream of bots just running in. Botting is a massive problem for WoW Classic. For one, because it brings a surplus of gold into the game that shouldn't be there, which causes the cost of everything to rise and invalidates and diminishes the gold farming of real players. And what's worse, we've embraced gold buying. Players have slowly learned that it's okay to buy gold and you can get away with it and go use the gold to gear up at a GDKP. And some players are okay with GDKPs, not the majority, but definitely a good portion of the player base likes and actively does GDKP raids. Now, if you have the money, you can essentially buy a level 58 character with the Dark Portal Pass. You can go buy some gold, and then you can go use that gold to buy boosts until you reach max level, and then use more bought gold to go run GDKPs until you have every item you want. This has made WoW Classic painfully pay to win. Now, GDKP encourages gold buying because you have a much better chance of getting the gear that you want. It just needs to drop. You don't have to deal with a loot council, regular DKP, or even losing the role. But it's just the player base feeding the bots, and it's mainly Blizzard's fault. Introducing the level boost. Now, this is the lifeblood of the bots. Every single one of the bots I saw is wearing the communal gear, able to quickly and easily get to items of value. I mean, imagine how much time they can save by boosting a bot and then sending immediately to Hellfire Ramparts to start farming gold. Now, this problem isn't really that complex. It's actually just simply corporate greed, because it turns out that a good chunk of Blizzard's income is actually coming from bots. Now, imagine how many Dark Portal passes are bought, not to mention the $15 a month each bot account has to pay, and on top of that, if a player does report a bot and it does get banned, however often that really is, then that's another Dark Portal pass that needs to be purchased by the botter. So by all means, the status quo is in fact favorable for Blizzard, so why fix it? As long as players buy gold, the botters have incentive to farm gold with bots. GDKPs encourage players to buy gold, since why run a main spec over off spec raid when you're fully geared when you can earn some gold while you raid? And as long as the botters are buying Dark Portal passes and paying a monthly sub, Blizzard is making money from paying customers. Bots and GDKP, these are two problems that plague Classic WoW. But in addition to these is the server imbalance. This one Blizzard also has an incentive not to fix, cashing in on those server transfer fees. But here's the thing. There comes a point where the people who are going to transfer have transferred, and the only people left will not cough up that money. So we saw recently Blizzard is merging servers and shutting down low population servers. Finally, Blizzard takes action now that they see that the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore, and there's hardly any people transferring servers anymore, since those that were willing to pay the fee already have, and all that's left are those who absolutely refuse to pay it. Now, this initial solution is a good step forward in my opinion, but there's still the issue of mega servers, servers that are extremely high population, usually because another server became imbalanced and the minority faction transferred to a server where they could be the majority. I know I did this, leaving Harad behind because it was unplayable against the overwhelming number of Horde, and I went to Benediction where the Alliance dominate. I saw a few Horde when I first arrived, but now there are literally none to be seen. This inevitably leads to problems with world PvP. In Hellfire Peninsula, we have tower flippers. Players who have a boosted Horde tune go and flip the tower for everyone to the Horde side so that we can recapture it and get our daily quest done. It's kind of crazy. But when it comes to Wrath, the server imbalance is going to cause problems with other world PvP events, mainly Winter Grasp. Now, Winter Grasp is an incredibly fun aspect of Wrath. I remember seeing the ads for Wrath and it boasted destructible buildings, and I shouted, finally, because I loved world PvP and wanted an aspect of realism and conquering of enemy lands and destroying their buildings and so on. It was just so exciting. I really thought WoW was going in the right direction with that. But now in the hyper-optimized WoW Classic of today, Winter Grasp is probably going to be nothing like it was before. Unless Blizzard does something drastic like merging two lopsided mega servers or making Winter Grasp a cross-realm instance you can join so that you have an even number of players on each side, it's really just going to be like tower flipping in Hellfire. Just walk over there and capture it. Now, Dungeon Finder, in my opinion, really isn't the problem Blizzard should be going after, because the community is really split about it. But what the community isn't split about is botting and server imbalance, and the consequences those problems have had on the game. Now, unfortunately, Blizzard wants a repeat of the Dark Portal Pass, and they're getting it. The level 70 boost will usher in another era of gold farming bots running into Utgard Keep and the Nexus wearing their new starter boosted gear. We'll see players continue to buy gold boosts, gear, and Wrath Classic will probably just be pay to win, just like TBC Classic was. Now, it's really crazy to think about it, but vanilla WoW Classic we got was probably the only WoW Classic that was uncorrupted by level boosts and GDKPs for the most part. Granted, there was still mage boosting and, other things, but for the most part, I'd say it was a good re-release of vanilla WoW. Now, whether you want Dungeon Finder or not, I think we can all agree that botting and server imbalance aren't good for the game, and Blizzard should put more resources towards fixing these problems instead of changing aspects of Wrath that half the player base actually wants to stay the same. Not even just Dungeon Finder, but other things that they're changing. So what do you think will be the biggest problem facing Classic? Let me know in the comments below.